The chosen one. God's plan for you is this. Please listen. There are times when heaven stops the normal flow of life and instead send a heavenly alarm into the spirit of the selected. This isn't just another. This is not your average end-of-week scenario. This is a predetermined point in spiritual time just for you. This is loaded with heavenly missions and holy insights that have been waiting for you to be ready, to rise, and to be brave enough to listen. Stay tuned till the finish of the video and leave your best wishes in the comments, along with the numbers 777. By doing so, you are not just participating. You're creating a frequency in the cosmos that connects your inner aspirations with heavenly energy. You're creating a portal through which God and your hope might connect, and the impossible begins to bend toward you like light, changing on the verge of miraculous. Now choose one. I like this video. If you have not already done so, subscribe to the channel. Let we begin. This is not an everyday day. It is being dispatched with purpose, with fire, and with your name prominently displayed in the middle of the mission. God has been monitoring your actions, decisions, progress, and personal battle, which no one else can see. And suddenly, something is working in your favor. His intentions for you are not random. They're not a response. They are a heavenly plan unfolding in a manner that will astound even the most daring aspects of your faith. Everything that seemed to be delayed was in fact being organized. Behind every locked door, a divine architect was rewriting the plan, assuring that what came next would be grander than everything before it. You did not miss anything. God has held it all until now. There is something about this time that you cannot overlook. He's adjusting the environment around you. He's directing angels into place. He is motivating hearts to remember you. He's waking up. Blessings will chase you down. There will come a point when everything begins to seem different, and you will realize it is not a coincidence. It is a signal. The clarity you've longed for will arrive not in chaos, but in serenity. The chance you've been looking for will come to you naturally, rather than by force. The wilderness season is drawing to an end with a magical stop. This is heavenly orchestration, not just mortal labor. You're not being left behind. You're being set aside. And this is why it has taken so long. You were not designed for common outcomes. You were created in fire for unique benefits that cannot be copied, imitated, or stolen. You are going to enter any season. You are entering God's appointed breakthrough, which has the echoes of heaven and the hallmark of divine will. This is why you've been seeing more signs. The dreams are more vivid. The nudges are louder. Your soul recognizes that something holy is around. Your spirit knows a curtain is going to be drawn back. God's intention for you is to realign all that has been broken while reinforcing everything that has been pure. He is healing you not merely for survival, but for dominion. You'll see that the appropriate folks begin to arrive. Conversations will feel different, more profound, and spiritually charged. The environment around you will seem gentler, as if something is preparing you for the next step, as if heaven itself is breathing serenity over you. And this is because you have reached the zone of heavenly confirmation. The plan is not arriving. It is already in action. Even the current delays were required. They were not punishment. They were preparing. You couldn't come into this with old beliefs, anxieties, or techniques. That is why God waited. Several things. That's why things didn't function as you expected. But now it is time. It's time to embrace the clarity that has been waiting for your bravery. Is where intention and preparation meet, when hesitancy breaks and fever sets in. This is more than simply one good day. It marks the awakening of a hitherto concealed, heavenly chronology. Until now, heaven has been quiet. Not because you were overlooked, but because the preparation was too sacred for public scrutiny. You have been fashioned in holy stillness, and now you are being summoned to visible triumph. Watch what God accomplishes with the individual who chooses to believe even when nothing makes sense. He recognized your loyalty. He saw your constraint. He noticed the tears. You refused to let someone define you. And now he's reworking this scene. The screenplay you were given by pain is being replaced by a script written in glory. What is going to happen to you is a reversal of expectations and the resuscitation of every dream that looked dead. Your name has been mentioned at celestial meetings. You've been picked for a moment when heavenly timing meets your chronology. You did not miss your opportunity. Your moment was kept for a day that could bear the weight of what was to come. And now is that day. This is not the time to ponder if you are prepared. This is the moment to stroll as if it's already finished, to seem as if the miracle is already in your possession. The plan isn't difficult. It is divine, and heavenly plans usually function in unexpected ways, but they are always in line with our soul's desires. You will experience a change in your emotions, a soothing in your heart, and a boldness in your stride. Don't run from it. Do not question it. Do not postpone your compliance. The plan for you is neither ambiguous or distant. It's plain and concise. A signal has been sent. The event is unfolding, and you picked one to be the focus of God's movement. You were born for this, and this time, everything will make sense. The enemies assumed you wouldn't make it this far. He believed the strain would crush you. He expected the delays to deplete you, but he misjudged the strength of your spirit. You were not born to break. You were born to ascend. What he didn't realize was that the divine appointment had already been put in motion for you. Even your enemies cannot stop what heaven has already ordained. Every hardship you've borne is going to become a breakthrough. What seemed like a loss is now the basis for a legacy. You're entering the type of favor that resolves years of uncertainty in a single heavenly moment. The weight you felt was not a punishment. God shaped your ability. The fire has polished you. Isolation cleansed you. The stillness improved your hearing. And now God is saying, this is the moment I have prepared you for the chosen one. Is a gateway not just to anything exterior, but to something inward that opens up a whole new dimension of your purpose. You are not walking into a gift. You are taking the first steps toward your own identity. You are not obtaining enough supply. You are inheriting position. You are transitioning into spiritual leadership. The weight of it necessitates bravery. It necessitates that you walk in trust rather than familiarity. Everything you believed was on hold was really arranged. The folks that departed were free to ensure your safety. The possibilities that disappeared have been erased. So something higher may come at the precise moment your spirit is capable of carrying it. It was never a rejection. It was a redirection. Divine protection, dressed in bewilderment. And now clarity is being revealed. This will not feel like any other day since your spirit will be elevated. The curtain will get thinner. You will notice what others miss and what others question. You'll recognize what others are ignoring. You will feel with complete consciousness. That is how near you are to the essence of God's design. Your discernment is not random. It is divine. Your instincts are not illusions. These are instructions. Whenever you felt forgotten, God was truly operating in stealth mode, not away from you, but for you. You've been protected against early exposure, depleting relationships, and bogus blessings. Because what is intended for you must be received in its whole, without misunderstanding or spiritual compromise. This is not just about what occurs. It's about what's disclosed. You'll notice something new about yourself. A degree of confidence derived not from your history, but from your promise. A light that is not dependent on your circumstances, but rather on your surrender. A conviction that transcends reasoning and overcomes fear. This is what divine timing accomplishes. It gives you the confidence to enter previously intimidating rooms. This is why there has been an uptick in conflict recently. It's because you're so near. The adversary usually fights hardest when your soul is seconds away from something important. He attempted distraction, disappointment, disconnection. However, you have outlived every technique. And now, the divine purpose is stronger than his intruding voice. This will open your eyes not just to what God is doing, but also to who you really are. You have grown in quiet. You have developed through storms. And so your interior change becomes an outward witness. You will no longer explain yourself to others who do not share your destiny. You will no longer attempt to demonstrate your worth to others who have never seen your vision. Your identity no longer depends on approval. It's based on heavenly confirmation. God's purpose for you comes with serenity, not pressure. You will not have to pursue it. You will agree with it. You won't have to perform. You will just be. That is the power of grace. That is the prize for obedience. You have waited. You have grown. You've stayed true even when it hurt. And now God is announcing, this is the time when I hoist you. Something in your spirit will know just what to do next. Not because you are guessing, but because God is directing. The individuals you need will come. The choices you have been unsure about will suddenly become simple. The weights you couldn't bear will be lifted without explanation. And it won't be magical. It will be a beautiful arrangement. This is the type of stuff that creates an impression, the kind you'll remember years later and remark, that was the day everything started shifting. The type of moment in which heaven speaks so plainly that you never question your path again. You won't be guessing any longer. You'll move with heavenly clarity, and you'll know in your soul that the time was not off. It was wonderful. You did not miss it. The chosen one. You did not lag behind. You were not disqualified. In reality, every second you suffered and every detour you made was fully accounted for. And now, heaven is recalibrating everything to guarantee that what is yours makes its way home. This is not a question of effort. This is about heavenly inheritance, which cannot be acquired since it was predetermined in your destiny from the start. This will show you what has been waiting behind the scenes of your compliance. And once started, it will not stop. Momentum is building. Breakthroughs are cascading. Blessings are increasing. Do not look back. Do not hesitate. Do not shrink. This is your assigned time. Your current duty is to trust, to breathe. Expect to step ahead as if the door has already opened. It already exists in the spiritual world. The chosen one. Something holy is suddenly shifting in your favor. Not in theory, but in genuine practical results. God is no longer preparing the blessing. He's preparing you to go into it. And this preparedness is not about waiting longer. It is about standing higher. It's about bringing the correct vibe into the area designed for your presence. There has been a change in the unseen world, and your soul has already begun to sense it. You've realized that things no longer exhaust you as much as they used to. You felt it in your stillness, when instead of frustration, tranquility sat by you. That's not an accident. That is alignment. You are plummeting at the frequency of heaven. Heaven has one word for you, this. Not now, not tomorrow, not after another delay, but now. Because when God acts, He does not require your schedule to comply. He does not need permission from the world that neglected you. He simply requires your belief, consent, and willingness to stand in the identity He has set inside you. Before time ever started, you have waited long enough, not in vain, but with strength. The delay cleaned your motivations. It humbled your heart. It separated you from distractions and restored your spirit to its true form. And now heaven has designated this as the beginning of your new season. You are being released in whole form rather than in fragments. You are coming across as uncertain. You are rising as a chosen one. You were never designed to live a life of survival, praying that nothing would fall apart. You were created for domination, divine vision, and marching confidently into chambers that were formerly intimidated by your light. Certain things did not work in the past because you were attempting to operate in environments that were incapable of handling the reality of your calling. This is about repositioning. It's about placing you where you really belong. The heavenly realignment will not be subtle. It will be undeniable. Not because you're pushing for it, but because heaven is pulling everything together. The resource you require will begin to appear. The help you've been waiting for will finally arrive. The confirmation you have been yearning for will finally arrive. And not as a whisper, but as a shout, a powerful reminder that God has never forgotten about you. And this time, it will be without the weight you were accustomed to carrying. There will be no more bargaining your value. There will be no more doubts about your selections. No more shrinking to make people feel secure. Something within you will awaken, saying, I'm not the same anymore because you aren't. You've outgrown the part of yourself that waited for indications. Now you move like a sign. You are a miracle. The change you're experiencing is more than simply a season. This is a spiritual graduate. The previous spiritual exams you completed in silence are finally being officially recognized. The award you are going to receive is not manufactured. It doesn't matter who you know or who sees you. It is based on the mark you bear, the heavenly fingerprint of God's favor that has been on you from the moment you were born. You'll begin to understand why you couldn't connect with everyone, why you were misunderstood, and why things were difficult for you. It's because your destiny demanded a different route, one that couldn't be hastened or tainted by extraneous influences. Your voyage has to be molded by heaven and fashioned in holy stillness. And now that the masterpiece is almost finished, you're invited to its reveal. Everything about this will seem sacred. And not only because something significant occurs, but because you will feel differently. The way you see your past will alter. Your vision of the future will be ignited. You will stop grieving who has departed and begin to rejoice over who is coming. You will stop apologizing for your brightness and begin to shine brighter than before. With this, you will begin to feel like the most powerful version of yourself. Not because of ego, but because of alignment. Not because of outward affirmation, but because your soul has finally agreed with heaven's assessment of you. You are not broken. You are just beginning. You aren't late. You were aligned. And now the fullness of time has come. There are days that alter your mood. There are also days when your course of action changes. However, this is not like the others. It will alter your identity. You'll wake up with a spiritual confidence that says, I'm no longer available for what drains me. I'm only open for activities that help me develop. That transformation is magnificent. That clarity is your compass. That serenity is your confirmation. The chosen one. You're becoming a living prophecy. What has been said over your life is going to begin speaking through your life. The most lovely thing is that you will not have to push it. You will not need to alter anything. You only need to be. Be still. Be aligned. Be open. God is moving precisely. And here is your chance to see the maneuver up close. You don't need a sign any longer. You are the sign. The one who survived what was supposed to kill you. The one who remained behind when bitterness seemed simpler. The one who continued to walk with a limp while expressing God's goodness. And now heaven answers. Take a look at what I do for the person who refused to give up. This is not merely a mark of paradise. It's rooted in your future. Today marks the conclusion of the storm. The day when your steps seem lighter. The day your soul breathes out and says this. This is what I've been waiting for. The chosen one. The fact is that God has never ceased looking over you. Even when the stillness lasted long. Even when the evenings were filled with doubt. Even when your prayers appeared to go unanswered. The quiet was not absence. It was a strategy. Heaven understood that a seed develops best while concealed in the soil. And with this, your emergence starts. There is a movement in the spiritual world, and your name is written in light. Your spirit is already reacting, even if you can't see it with your normal eyes. Something feels strange. Something is stirring under the surface. You may experience a peculiar calm, spiritual tension, or divine expectation. That is the signal. It's a subtle hint that paradise is approaching, and destiny isn't merely on its way. It is at the door.